Welcome to another episode of TeeVo and the Beard.
Welcome to another happy day.
Yes.
I am TeeVo, and that is the Beard, and you can't see us.
I'm mixing it up a little bit there. Okay. So I got an icebreaker for us.
All right.
Because, as I'm sure you're aware, we're looking at an upcoming Inhumans either TV show, miniseries, event.
Thing. From the history of it all, they had planned to do an Inhumans movie, slated with the MCU and everything, like a movie.
Right.
They kept pushing it back, and logically, from what we've seen the narrative so far, it's kind of like, well, if you introduce this, what do you bring?
Right.
Because they've done, I think, a good job doing it in the show.
Right. But a lot of people are mentioning the fact that your main characters, Medusa, Black Bolt, ones like that, nowhere to be seen.
Yes. But now they are.
Yeah, and they've started a casting call.
Yes.
So there's no set time on when we're going to see it.
But however, they did slate that we will see. So they made an announcement of a big deal between like ABC and IMAX. So what they're going to do is they're going to shoot the first 2 episodes.
Right.
And show those 2 episodes in a 2-hour event.
So almost like a movie, except
almost
it's
in a
going to
movie.
be
But they're going to show it in IMAX, I think, during the summer. And then, if you didn't catch it, you can watch it on TV.
Right. Yeah, because from everything I've seen, it seems like it's going to be a mid-season.
So they're probably already, I don't know. If they're going to air in the fall, I think it's going to be like the start of a season and then be over.
Right.
So they're not coming back immediately, like, whenever they do the winter finale, that's the finale.
Right, yeah.
At least as far as I'm told.
I think what they should do is just a small miniseries, not necessarily a filler, but just a self-contained story, something like that, like they did with what was it in the '90s, Marvel Knights, when they did the Inhuman run.
I mean, from what I read, I think that's the idea, but I don't know. But I'm looking forward to see it, though.
So here's the question, though. Here's the icebreaker.
Yes.
So everybody is aware of mutants.
Yes.
A lot of people now are aware of Inhumans.
Yes.
And mutants, you're basically born with the powers. You hit puberty normally, and that's when they manifest. As an Inhuman, it's Terrigen Mist, the Terrigen Cocoon, whichever version of it. But you've lived most of you've lived all of your life up to that point.
And assuming you never hit the Terrigen, you will never know that you had powers.
Right, yeah. So, my question to you is, all things being equal, would you rather be a mutant or an Inhuman? Like, let's say your power is flight, and you have flight either way. Either you're born with these wings, or, you gain them after being cocooned. But you've lived, as an Inhuman, you've lived your entire life up to that point.
I would
Normal
say...
TiVo.
I'd say mutant.
Okay.
On the notion, because say we live in the Marvel universe right now. Any of them.
Yeah.
And, we learn about Inhumans and Terrigen. But the thing is, as is a S.H.I.E.L.D., shown, if you are not an Inhuman, you will die.
Right.
So let's say I'm curious. I am a normal person, non-mutant.
Right.
I'm curious. What if I am an Inhuman? Well, I want powers. Or
right,
what if I got greedy? I want powers. But what if I'm not... I don't have the gene in me. I die. At least with a mutant, it's there.
See, I was also going to pick mutant, but you bring up I was just thinking based on the social part is why I would pick mutant, but you bring up a great point there about survival.
I was total selfish. I think lately Inhumans are cooler than mutants, but if you were to ask me which one I want to be, I'd say mutant. Just get it over with.
Right, yeah.
It's there.
And also there's a better... established society within mutants than there are within humans.
Now, if we say hypothetically we are in the Marvel universe, as lately stories have shown, Terrigen kills mutants, or at least makes them infertile or whatever, sterile.
Yeah.
So that part I don't like, so I wouldn't want that.
But you'll still avoid the Terrigen. Yeah. So very cool, and TiVo's bringing us a new segment to test out.
So this is our 24th, and we're gonna do something new.
Okay.
So lately I've been listening so much Anna Faris.
Yeah.
Of Anna Faris is Unqualified. You should listen to it.
We still want you to come on the show.
Yes, but they, for those unfamiliar with her show format, she takes callers and helps them with a relationship advice, which we're not going to do.
No, we are not qualified.
If she is unqualified, we are definitely unqualified. So, but
we're barely qualified to talk about the stuff we already do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but what they do is they do kind of improv games and like
Okay.
what if games, and I thought, you know, that'd be fun. Let's have fun with that.
Okay.
So this is a game I'd like to call What Would You Do? And not the What Would You Do from the 90s. Boy, that would be so much fun.
Oh, I know.
That'd be so much fun. But so I'm
the
gonna
90s were so much fun.
They were.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you a scenario, and you have to play along like this is happening.
Okay.
And
I'll do my best.
And don't be a dick and do the whole, well, it's not real, so, you know.
Well, yeah, no, this is...
I know people who do that.
Yeah.
At Dragon Con one year, they, you know, for those who've been to Dragon Con, when you go to a panel, there's a big giant screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where they're going to project, you know, a larger image. So if you're sitting in the back, you can still somewhat see.
Yeah.
But before the panel starts, they do like little skits and like little things, like
Okay.
kind of like Adult Swim when they do all the, like, you know, black letters.
Right,
know.
yeah.
It's just for fun, you know, so you're engaged. You're not just sitting there in total silence.
Right.
But there was one year they did like a thing where it's like, well, what if you had this, but, you know, you had also this, which one would you choose? And then they did something funny and said, I'd choose both because it's a false dilemma. I could have both. And for the time, I was like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But I know someone who takes that to heart.
Oh,
so
wow.
every time I ask what if questions,
Yeah.
that's the answer. It's like, okay, that's, you look, thanks for taking the fun out of it.
Oh, no, I with stuff like this, I dive right into the imaginary world where it's like, yeah, these are the options. This is what's happening.
Let's say you're in a car.
Okay.
You're in your car, your normal car, nothing fancy, and you get rear-ended.
Hey, my Rolls Royce is fancy. In my mind.
You get rear-ended.
Okay.
And the type of rear-ended that that doesn't hurt you physically, but, you know, your car, it damage is noticeable. Because I've been in a few rear ends.
Yeah.
Both inflicted and been inflicted, where nothing really happened.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
So you're in a bumper accident, and what comes from the other car is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh.
So when I talk from here, I'm going to be Jamie Lee Curtis, and we're going to play out the scenario.
This is going to get very awkward.
I am so sorry.
It's no problem, Miss Curtis.
Look, you know who I am.
Oh, of course, you're very familiar with a lot of your works.
Thank you.
Big Halloween fan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Listen, I am currently driving without insurance.
Oh.
So this will be some problem for me.
I'm sure we can get it taken care of without, you know.
Really, you'll be okay with that.
Well, I mean, we can work something out.
Your car has a big giant cantaloupe-sized hole in it.
Yeah.
You know, I would, but what I'm asking is if you don't mind not calling anyone about this.
Well, I will have to get it fixed. So, is there some way you can like compensate me for the damages?
Well, here's the thing.
The Scream Queen's not paying well.
My funds are being tied right now, so I cannot actually compensate you for this damage. But in my car, I have the actual knife from Halloween.
Okay, I'm listening.
You're listening?
I'm listening.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Would you take that in place of your damaged car?
Now that's a tough one.
Really?
Because I mean, you are Jamie Lee Curtis.
I am Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. So I want to trust you because I mean you've been one of my crushes for.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've heard that many times.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Did you see True Lies?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. I have a podcast, and eventually we're gonna do an episode just on. True
fantastic!
Lies. Yeah, we're trying to find someone who hasn't seen it, and
good.
Good. Get a first-hand reaction from them.
Good.
But how do I know this is the knife? I mean, you're just randomly carrying around.
I am Jamie Lee Curtis, and you should, if I'm carrying around Halloween paraphernalia, you should believe me.
Then what I want. I gotta sweeten the pot a little bit. I gotta sweeten the pot, Miss Curtis. I would like the knife.
Okay.
I would like a selfie with you.
Okay.
That I can post if I want or not want. That's what I mean. And an autograph.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to autograph the knife?
No, because you're not. That's Michael Myers' knife. Yeah, that's. I thought you were Jamie Lee Curtis.
I am
Okay,
Jamie Lee
yeah.
Curtis.
No, the knife is.
I am Jamie
I
Lee
don't want it
Curtis.
soiled. No, I'll find something. I've got a paper or something in my car. But yeah, if you do all three of those for me,
You'll forget the damage.
I will forgive the damage.
I-
It's hard to
I-
forget the like you said, the cantaloupe size.
I see a
dent in
ring on your finger there. Are you married?
I am married. Yeah.
Your wife would not be mad at this.
No,
Okay.
no. We have lists.
Yeah,
We have
okay.
okay lists.
Okay, well
Yeah.
then I think we have a deal then.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And see.
I have one
If you
more.
saw the look in TiVo's eyes during that, he was Jamie Lee Curtis.
I have one more.
Mhm.
Hypothetically, let's pretend you are single right now.
Okay.
Like not a past version of you. Like right now,
Okay.
you are single.
Yeah.
You don't have a wife or child.
Mm-hmm.
You are dating a girl, and you learned she has never seen Star Wars. Anyway,
Well, now, okay. Now I'm kind of seeing what your friend was talking about. That they they take a lot to heart because okay, I'm dating a girl that's never
you're
seen.
dating a girl who's never seen Star Wars.
So this has never come up before somehow.
Well, let's say okay. Now you have shown her A New Hope. And
Okay.
she enjoyed it. So naturally, you're going to show Empire Strikes Back,
Right. Yeah.
and as the credits are rolling,
Mhm.
you
The
look
opening or
at
closing?
the closing credits.
Okay.
So the film's
Because
over.
that does
Yes,
make a difference.
the film's over.
Okay.
You look over to her,
Mhm.
and she is sobbing, crying.
Okay.
So when you hear me next, I will be said girlfriend.
Okay. Wait, how long have we been dating?
Not terribly long, but long enough to where
Like a few months.
like obviously, as your reaction was, you couldn't believe that you were dating someone who hadn't seen Star Wars.
Right.
So obviously, you like her enough
Right.
to keep her around.
So it's been more than a few days, but less than a year.
Yes,
Sort of.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because Star Wars would definitely come up within a year.
Yes, yes. So obviously, you're okay with that, and
Okay.
you took the moment to be like, okay, well, great. I'll introduce you.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So we watched Empire
and you would think, you had a good experience watching A New Hope, and
Mhm.
all of a sudden you're watching Empire, it's over, and she's just bawling.
Okay. All right. What's the matter? What's wrong?
I am so sorry. I'm so embarrassed right now.
Did you let me guess, you didn't get the twist that Vader was gonna
No, I'm okay with that, but
Okay.
listen, I don't know if I ever told you this, but when I was a kid,
Take your time, yeah.
I grew up with a man who dressed in all black, and
Okay.
it turns out that he wasn't my father.
So like a stepdad. Or...
Well, I thought he was my dad, but
Mhm.
seeing Darth Vader say "I am your father" just heavily reminded me of this terrible guy.
Okay. What do you mean by terrible?
Well, let's say he did choke a few people out.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that my father or this stranger
Mhm.
is Darth Vader, but it's hitting close to home right now.
Yeah. No, I can definitely understand that.
I don't think I want to watch further films.
Oh, but see, that's where I will have to disagree with you there, because when we watch Return of the Jedi, you're going to get to see the whole circle. You're going to get to see it come back around. There's going to be redemption. I'm going to go ahead and spoil that for you, just because of the situation that you were in. So you can maybe help erase these old memories, or at least find closure to them when you see Vader come around and do some good.
Well, here's why I'm just so disturbed. I don't know how I didn't catch this the first time around, but he also was in a skiing accident, and he did for a while had to have a respirator. So that sound he makes is just, and he did have a hairstyle that was very similar. That he chose to have long hair, and it looks like the helmet that Darth Vader wears.
That is oddly similar. Do you like cute things though? Do you like cute animals and stuff like that?
I detest them.
You detest cute
I
animals.
detest them.
Even like bear. What about Muppets?
You know, I remember my teacher in preschool showed us the Muppets, and then I threw paste at her.
So you don't. So like little bear-sized Muppets.
They're not.
How do you feel about giant slugs?
I adore them.
You adore giant
I
slugs.
adore them.
Of course. What about gold bikinis? How do you feel about those? I guess completely against.
I'm wearing one right now.
Oh, well, let's stop the movie. We can go do other things. I'm wearing a gold bikini right now. I'll go watch Return of the Jedi after I break up with you after the gold bikini show, because this is not going to work out.
What do you mean?
I'm saying that things like Star Wars are very important in my life, and if you can't continue with, if you can't even give it a chance.
But I told you that I'm having an issue right now with this.
That's true, but we're still very new in this relationship here, and that, and then you have very specific things that you like and don't like that I do like. I do like Muppets and cute things. Return of the Jedi is actually my favorite of the original trilogy.
So I open up to you, and you reject me in this manner.
I know, and a guy I do a podcast with, TeeVo, he told me not to be a dick, but I'm gonna have to be one this time, because the next thing you're gonna say is you don't like pizza or something like that. And
I like a vegan pizza.
Get out. That's it. You use the V word. That's, I have to draw the line there,
All right.
Go hang out with Jenny McCarthy.
Okay. Well, that was an improv segment, because some of you, we mentioned this before, that we have a theater background,
Mm-hmm.
so this kind of thing is fun to do sometimes.
Yeah, and it gives a little break up from just talking about the shows and stuff like that.
Speaking of which, we're about to talk about the shows.
We are about to talk about the shows, or at least a show.
A show.
Yeah.
So I was listening to one of our episodes and noticed that we go right into spoilers. So for those who want to watch our show but can't tell when you're about to be spoiled, so right now, if you're about to hear our theme-ish, kind of our theme, so that's your cue to say, okay, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
So
then go watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and come back.
So
please come back.
When we come back, we'll talk about all spoiler-filled, as we always say, spoiler-filled stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And we're back.
We're back. So what did you think of this episode?
I loved it.
First of all,
yeah,
that was the secret, that Director Mace is phony.
Yeah. But it does go back to what I was saying before the season started about the connection of Mace with like Captain America and stuff like that.
How so? I'd have to recap.
Because the old comics, Mace took the place, and he wasn't a director, right? He took the place of Captain America when Steve Rogers was on ice. So the fact that they used that same name put that suspicion in my head, but then they really drove that Inhuman story. And I thought, okay, well, they're using the same name, same power, but he's in...
he's in today's time, so things are obviously different.
Yeah. So they did... That was a nice red herring there.
I knew something was funny when he sees a man flung out of a Quinjet.
Yeah.
No way he's, alive.
Right, yeah.
And the first thing he does when they recover from the crash is going to find him.
Right.
And, he was handcuffed to a briefcase.
Yeah.
I was like, I bet you that briefcase is somewhat related to why he is who he is.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah, and I did not think it was going to be super soldier serum.
I somewhat called that little twist about him.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that really took me for surprise is the picture. Because it's the first time you really see or hear about what he did in Vienna.
Right, which was Trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like how he explained that literally he was just trying to get out there.
Yeah, didn't even know the woman was down there.
And they just happened to snap a photo and he just went with it. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
he's a professional liar.
He is. Because I was like, okay, you don't have powers, whatever.
Yeah.
At least, that seemed like a moment that they could see, like, oh, okay, sure. Well, he may not be a superhero, but he seemed like a cool guy.
Right.
But He's not.
No. No, but I did.
Both things were phony.
I did really like him in this episode. I liked the, raw, vulnerable version of Mace there, because there were times where when he, his power started dropping, he was like a puppy, almost.
I like when they were shooting. He's like, "Have you done this before?" Well, Talbot gave me a few pointers, but I didn't think I ever had to use it.
Right. Yeah.
Well, we never really got moments like that with Mace. Every other big episode that Mace has been a key part of, they haven't really done anything to this level. So yeah,
Right.
it was nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that he is going to be the puppet now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that Coulson is
But
stepping up.
yes, which is nice.
Yeah.
But
It's what we all want.
in the episodes where he was like the face, doing the interviews, doing the press conferences,
Yeah.
I will say he was pretty good at it.
Yeah, it's what he does best.
So I can see why Coulson would be like, "No, you're still going to do that.
Yeah.
You're the head,
Yeah.
but I'm the brain."
Yeah, he's still going to be presented as a superhuman, inhuman, whatever. But he's not going to call the shots anymore. Because I even like that when they're in the woods and he asks Coulson, "Okay, what do we do?"
So that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. It definitely this episode made me like him more as a character now.
I hope nothing bad happens to him now.
I know.
Because
now he's vulnerable.
Now you like him, so
Yeah. So Joss is like, off with his head. Just gotta get rid of him.
so let's go to the other big storyline with Ada and Dr. Radcliffe.
Right. Or Ada 2.0 or whichever.
He's still calling her
version she-
Ada, so I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I'm using Ada.
Because now we have two characters. We have Ada and Ada's head.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with Dr. Radcliffe, I like to point out that it's interesting because the last episode was a twist.
Yeah.
He is the mastermind behind getting the Darkhold.
Right.
But he's not a big bad in a sense.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to hurt anybody.
Right.
I thought that was...
He wants to help people.
Yes.
In fact.
I thought that was an interesting idea.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, when he was scolding previous Ada for killing Nathanson.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, so you're not evil.
Right.
You're just going to do nefarious things to get.
Yeah.
And by nefarious, non-lethal nefarious.
Right. Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting kind of character. Because, it did end on thinking, no, he's the big bad. He's
Right,
gonna,
yeah.
he's going to topple everybody. Oh, you don't know? You don't want that? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
He wants to help people. He wants to make the world a better, safer place. He's just
Gonna use a
got to
very
use a very
bad
dark
thing.
thing to do it. Yeah.
What did you think of that aspect of the story?
I think Mallory Jensen can play evil sexy very well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because she is, that perfect blend of sexy and scary at the same time.
Yes.
It's like if you saw her at a bar, you would want to go ask for her
Yes.
number, but you wouldn't.
And I believe she's a robot.
Right.
She is just like the little mannerism. Like they're so tiny,
Yeah.
but they are so effective in believing that she is an android.
Yeah, because like when he's scolding her for, killing the other agent and almost killing May, she doesn't show any remorse in that. Her face is just like blank, like she's just a computer literally processing what you're telling her.
So just those little micro expressions. You know what? Hey, I hope she can play more sexy robots, but at the same time, sexy evil robots. But I don't want to get typecast.
Right. Yeah.
But
Well, I wanted to see her do more with as a bad queen or an evil queen on Gallivant.
Yes.
Because the way season 2 ended, so this kind of replaces that for me. I do
you
get
know
to
what?
see her as a.
Oh, she was a bad guy on it.
Well, she was ending with season 2. She got the I almost said Darkhold, wrong one. She got the Dedu, which was dark, evil way. Yeah, the Dedu. Yeah, and she was going to capitalize on that power.
Well,
and that's how season 2 ended, and then
we don't
cancellation.
Well, I first saw her on a ABC family show, now Freeform.
Yeah,
It's called Young and Hungry, and she was
Right.
also not a good person. So maybe she's already typecast.
yeah, but it's because she's one of those actresses, and not even on the looks, just as far as her acting ability goes, you like her at the beginning. Of anything she's in, you like her, you want to like her, you want to be on her side. And then she does that
Yes.
flip, and you're like, well, I guess I'm still with
And
you.
she's also Australian. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
She's Australian.
Okay.
I've heard her really talk, and it's
Yeah.
like, I like you more.
Right.
But that was an interesting, and, you know, the little twists, and I don't know where it's going to go.
Mhm.
But, man, I guess I've been praising Fitz too much.
I know, he fanboyed up
Yep.
in this episode, yeah.
I praised Fitz too much because, as you saw, so what they want to do with the head of Ada.1 is
Yeah.
to get rid of it. It's
Right.
like, to get by.
Yeah. Which seems to be more difficult to do than you would think, because if Fitz is the only one that's for keeping it, and everybody else is for getting rid of it, shouldn't they just be able to... It's like, oh, Fitz is asleep. Throw it away.
But
Burn
as
it.
we see, Fitz is the only one who does
Yeah.
not believe in that and is keeping it in his locker.
Right, yeah.
Why?
And then downloading her to his phone.
Yes.
And when I saw that part, I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've seen Fitz do.
I was like, Fitz, no, don't be a bad guy.
Right. Yeah, because that's, I mean...
And then lying
Android,
again.
And, yeah.
And lying again about it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, Fitz.
And not just lying to S.H.I.E.L.D., but lying to Simmons.
Yes.
You know, you finally are in this relationship that you've worked multiple seasons to get to.
You died for it. You
Right.
were going to die for it.
Right. You've gone to rescue her on other planets or dimensions or whatever, and now
Well,
you're going to mess it up because of
it's funny
pretty head.
because you got to think: is it the Darkhold or is it Fitz's natural curiosity towards science
Right.
and technology?
Yeah.
Because he
Or
was
is it
lying.
because she's a pretty face?
Well, I mean, that's why I like her.
Right, and that's all she is right now to him.
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
But he was keeping Ada's secret before the Darkhold was even in play.
Yeah.
So is it both or one or the other?
Yeah.
We don't know.
And it does seem strange, though, if it was just more on the science side, that he really separated himself literally from Radcliffe.
Yes.
And I mean, so much so that he says, I'll still come over to watch football matches. That's it.
Yeah.
So if it was mostly on the technology side, I would think that he would want to keep like a secret relationship going there.
Right.
Unless there's something we as the audience don't know.
Well, that's the thing. It's just, one tiny scene. But
Yeah.
what does it mean?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah. Because he could just be putting on a big show so that everybody thinks he's disconnected from them.
Well, I mean, we're only the second episode into this arc of
Right.
this, of the tail end of the season. So, there's a lot more to be in play. But
for sure.
it was one of those things. It was like, no, Fitz, don't be a bad guy. Fitz, I know I praise you for being mature.
Yeah.
But don't do it in the wrong way.
Yeah, you're manning up. You're not supposed to bad man up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad-ish, so May, life model.
Yeah. May, who...
Again, that's one of those tail end scenes that could open up in many different ways.
Yeah.
So Radcliffe did say that May Life Model does not know that she is a life model.
Right. And I love that they answered that, like, it's in black and white. He literally said it. So it's no question about it like we had in the first episode there.
However, again, one of those things.
Yeah.
Again, it's early. They could play it different ways. But right now, as we talk, we just don't know. That's the problem. We don't know.
Yeah.
But don't tell us immediately.
Yeah.
It's the good mystery. It's like we want to know, but not immediately.
Not yet.
Like,
Yeah.
don't just tell us.
Yeah.
But she was wounded in her rescue.
She was wounded by falling on a table saw and bending it.
Yes. But it's not like she was invulnerable because there is a mark of it.
Yeah.
She has a very open wound.
Yeah.
She, as in like a robot.
Yeah. And can it heal? Will it heal?
Will heal,
We don't
but
know.
she looked in the mirror and sees that while there is blood, there is robot.
Right.
So
And she knows something's not right with that.
So I'm wondering if Radcliffe's maybe that version, maybe something happened, so now she figures that out, or maybe May thinking she still is May thinking, oh God, what did they? Did something happen to me?
Am I cyborg May now?
Did something happen when I
Did
died?
I go to Tahiti?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering where they're gonna play that. So
Yeah.
is the May life model aware she's a life model, or is she thinking, okay,
Because as far as we know, she still does everything that a normal human would do.
Yes.
Even though, as an
but
audience...
we still haven't seen her poop or pee.
Well, we also haven't seen her eat or drink.
That's true.
Yeah. And
But then again, we barely saw her do that anyway.
Right.
And also, we barely saw her poop and pee. So,
I've never seen that. I missed that episode there. But I like that this episode also showed us that Ratcliffe has done his research on May.
Yes.
Because when Ada gives her this spa relaxing thing, doesn't work. So he's like, no, we got to get her in like a fight scenario in her coma. So it makes me wonder, though, does he know that she doesn't like coffee? And will that be one of the tells, like in season, which one was it, season 1 or 2, where they had that into
coffee,
and because that was the tell sign that Coulson needed to know that fake May wasn't. She gets, I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, look at her, but she's the one that gets copied the most, it seems.
Interesting point.
Yeah,
we'll explore it.
Yeah,
but that would be my big question. Like, what do you think is happening, May life model?
Yeah.
Are you aware? Are you self-aware now?
Yeah.
Or do you just think, okay, well, I have cybernetic parts.
And then if you as the LMD have questions about it, who do you go to? Who do you assume did that to you?
Because as Fitz went to tell Dr. Radcliffe, he's not really welcome at the base right now.
Right.
So Dr. Radcliffe can't do any modifications or repairs.
Right.
So that's something.
Yeah, and do you go to Coulson then? Because she does seem to have a memory of a relationship with Coulson.
Well, life models are meant to... the base principle of life model is they're literally supposed to be that person.
Right.
To, if something were to happen...
Yeah.
And get killed,
mm-hmm.
They would, it would appear that they are that person. So the assailant would be like, yes, I did it.
Right.
Because that's exactly what he was saying to Ada. It's like, well, if you are obviously a robot, people are going to know.
Right. Yeah.
And like you said, he did pretty good research on Agent May.
Yeah. So because Ada, he could make however he wants, think however she wants, all that. With May, there are specifics in there.
So I'm not surprised that he maybe found those memories and downloaded them to the live model.
Yeah.
So there's that. And is that about it? Nothing else? That was the main...
Yeah, I mean, Quake is getting back into things.
Did you watch Luke Cage?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
There was a possible Luke Cage reference.
Okay.
The bullet, the sniper, in the very beginning,
mm-hmm.
Director Mace lifted up the podium, and the bullet went through the podium and exploded.
Mm-hmm.
It's not outrightly said, but a lot of people, and I think so, and I agree, there was a bullet in Luke Cage.
Okay.
It's called the Judas bullet. And basically, it was very powerful. It was made of very strong metal, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Very good stuff. But when it drilled into you when it's shot and then explodes.
Jeez.
Yes. And why that was a big deal on Luke Cage was, as we know, Luke Cage, bullets don't affect him.
Right.
Well, this did.
Ah.
And when you watch the show, it's such a good moment from Mike Coulter and Rosario Dawson, that scene. Because, you got to think, okay, Luke Cage has been living as Luke Cage, this man, for a while. I've been shot many times, and nothing's happened. So it was a great moment when he is shot in the gut, and he's like, I'm bleeding. Okay, I haven't seen this in a while. And, that was the next episode, is trying to get it out. Because, it exploded, so there were particles all over.
Yeah.
So when you see that, then you'll watch S.H.I.E.L.D. or think of that S.H.I.E.L.D. going, oh, that probably is the same thing.
Yeah. One of the smaller things, speaking of Ada's head and all that.
And by the way, I didn't catch that off the hand. I had to. I read about it later.
Yeah. One of the things that we didn't mention is that Simmons womaned up again with the whole good cop, bad cop with the sniper.
Right, yeah.
And she was like, and she starts talking about, working in Hydra and all that. And, if we've seen past seasons, so we're like, yeah, she kind of in Hydra there, so that makes sense. And then they talk about the other Hydra agent, and I'm thinking, before they opened the cooler, I'm thinking, what other Hydra agent are they talking about?
So cool.
I was about to rewatch seasons 1 and 2 there to figure out what they were talking about, and then they lift it open, there's Ada's head. Conveniently with blood on it.
And if they had followed your orders on incinerating it, you wouldn't have a card to play.
Exactly. So you got to keep it around at least for that.
Yeah.
For interrogation purposes.
I was like, are we gonna have a Brett Dalton cameo?
Yeah.
But he blew up in space.
Right.
But then again, did you make one? Why not?
Yeah. Did we see him blow up in
Oh,
space? Yeah, no, don't tell my wife that there might be a possibility of a Brett Dalton LMD. And not necessarily
well,
a award one.
well,
But
there could be.
no, she would want a Brett Dalton one.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
she would want the actual,
Well, I mean,
fully
he is
functional.
available for conventions, so
Yeah.
I
I think she wants him available for a date.
are you okay with that?
It's Brett Dalton. I don't have much of a choice.
Okay.
I get Jamie Lee Curtis, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was interesting with Simmons
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So, but which Talbot comes back?
Yeah, Talbot, I did not like in
Not this time?
episode. Yeah,
Not this
well,
time?
I've never been a huge Talbot fan,
Really?
but I do like that by the end of it, even though it doesn't retroactively change my mind about him in the show, or in the episode, I do like that he had reasons for why he was doing this.
He
thing.
made me Safoni.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I did like that part, but
You never been a Talbot character again?
not really, just because he is that very military brass sort of thing, and that's not my type of character. But that's not saying anything against the actor or how it's played or anything. In fact, the fact that I don't like him says more positive.
But not so hard like Parminder Nagra, where it's like, okay,
Yeah,
you're
no.
playing it too good.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to get rid of him or anything.
Yeah.
He's got a good stash.
You're like, I still like you, Adrian Pasdar.
Yeah. So you and that mustache, you keep coming back. I'm not gonna like your character, but
The mustache is good.
the mustache is good.
Well,
yeah,
good.
Because without it, he'd look ridiculous.
Well, next week, I believe, from the synopsis, we're going to delve into more of the May aspect. So that's interesting. But the episode after that, I'm excited because Patton Oswalt returns as the Koenigs.
Yep.
So where they've been, what they've been doing. Because, they didn't make an appearance at all in Season 3. And I missed them. So I would like to see what they've been up to.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm waiting to see the supervisor for the Watchdogs.
Yes. Well, I did look at some synopsis, and I can't remember if it is the Patton Oswalt episode or maybe one after that. But there is someone cast.
Yes.
However, he is not a big name.
Oh, it depends on what circles you're in. If you're in the Black Sails.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know he has a big arc in the 100.
Okay. See, I've never seen the 100, but I am familiar with.
His name's Zach something.
Yeah, Zach McGowan or something.
Yeah, Zach McGowan.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
Yeah.
But on the synopsis, it just says supervisor.
Yeah.
So there's still a mystery on who it is.
Yeah.
Now we know there's
But I
an
like
actor.
who they picked because,
Yeah. You vouch for him?
I definitely vouch for him.
This would be my introduction. So
Yeah, he was Calico Jack on Black Sails.
Okay.
So, and he was a major part in that, and I wouldn't want to mess with him in that, and I'm guessing I'm not going to want to mess with him in this. So.
But yeah, so they have an actor, but we don't know the character.
Right.
That's still the mystery. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
So yeah, because they do it better than DC. It's like they give us a mystery and then eventually reveal it instead of giving us screenshots and all that.
That's all we really have to say for the episode.
Yeah.
It's still early in the season, so there's not too many game-changing stuff already. We're getting revelations in the past few episodes, but nothing to really... There's still so many questions we have moving forward.
Yeah, yeah.
On a side note about Brett Dalton, is your wife aware that his new movie is coming out tomorrow?
I don't know if she knows the date, but I know she knows. I mean, she probably does know the date she's had.
Well, it's tomorrow, and there will be a theater in...
Excuse me!
So, I just revealed our location.
I know. So there will be a theater in our area. So I'll edit out the location. No one will ever know I edited it either. Because I'll leave this part in saying that I edited it.
Nice. So I actually will probably go see it.
Yeah.
Well, and I say probably because it is looking like a very religious themed film.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, religion's bad, but sometimes those films aren't my cup of tea.
Right, yeah.
But this one looks interesting.
Yeah.
I did say it was funny. I was like, for the first time, because up until yesterday, I didn't know who was coming. I was like, for the first time ever, I want to go see a religious movie. And you're not showing? Oh,
right.
Good.
Okay,
You're
there
going
it
to
is.
show it.
Yeah.
So, don't know if you're going to need a babysitter this weekend, but, just put that out there.
Yeah.
If she is listening.
Or she doesn't listen to our show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, by the time...
She lives with me. She doesn't want to hear me any more than she has to.
I see. But that's that.
Yep.
Next week is the big one because, well, we will still have we'll hopefully bring back the fun stuff we're going to talk about for the episode, but we have a lot more to talk about this time.
Yeah.
Because Flash and Supergirl come back.
Yes.
And I'm excited.
Yes, I have no preconceived notions of either one. I'm just going to
me neither.
Yeah.
I do know that Kevin Smith is directing the Supergirl episode. I don't know plot-wise what it's about.
Yeah. So, and as he proved with the last Flash episode that he did, it may or may not have